Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about The Flash Season 9 and its ending. So, as you guys know, The Flash is coming to an end with its 13th episode in Season 9. Now, lots of us have been speculating about potential crossovers and cameos that are going to be happening in The Flash's final season. We've had a few cameos confirmed, but we still have more to come supposedly. So today we're going to be theorizing about one or two of those cameos and what they could be towards the end of The Flash Season 9. But for now, if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year and going into next year, because we are very close to the end of the year as we approach the holidays and Christmas. But before we actually get into today's main topic, I want to remind you guys, as I've said in previous videos for the last few weeks, we have merchandise available for all of you DC TV show fans. So if you like the channel and you want to support the channel, please be sure to get some merchandise. You can get as little as you want or as much as you want. And a big shout out to everyone who has got merch so far. Quite a lot of you guys have ordered and I've had good feedback. It's very comfy, it's very clean, it's very simple, and I just think it's pretty cool. So if you like the channel, want to support, that is the best way to do it, as well as coming back and watching videos every single day when we upload them. But for now, we'll go ahead and get into today's topic. So this is a theory video, guys. I have to say that up front. I have no information about any future cameos and what could be coming towards the end of The Flash Season 9 beyond what kind of most of us know, in terms of like those of you guys who are up to date with the behind the scenes up in Vancouver and everything that has been revealed publicly. So first things first, I have to point out that Supergirl is going to be having a cameo in the season, but it's going to be a Supergirl character. That is Nicole Mains's Nia Now, aka Dreamer from Supergirl. So that is the Supergirl character that has been confirmed to show up in The Flash Season 9. So we already have one crossover from Supergirl. And obviously that's very exciting. We kind of presumed it was Nia ever since the showrunner of The Flash, Eric Wallace, was teasing on The Flash podcast that they were trying to plan a mini Supergirl cameo for one of the characters to show up in one episode on The Flash and have a big storyline with one specific character. It turned out that this is in fact Nia Now, and she's going to be having a big kind of journalistic storyline with Iris West Allen in one of the upcoming episodes, probably like episode 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there in The Flash Season 9. So we know that as of right now, but the main point of speculation from fans and YouTubers like myself who cover the shows is who is going to show up towards the end of the season, who's going to be in that series finale, the final episode of The Flash ever. So to theorize about that, we have to look back at some of the other series finales for some of the other Arrowverse shows. First off, let's look at Arrow. How did Arrow end? Well, Arrow was in a bit of a special situation because their ending came after Crisis on Infinite Earths. So they basically had a huge crossover that was kind of leading towards the end of Arrow, and it was all kind of planned together. So there was not that much pressure to include, you know, a bunch of other characters from the Arrowverse because they already did that in like the previous episodes, literally preceding the finale. But in the actual finale, which was Season 8, Episode 10, which I believe aired on January 28th, 2020, they were able to focus on the Arrow characters mainly. There was many Arrow characters that came back from the past to attend Oliver Queen's funeral, and obviously at this funeral you saw like various different characters like Tommy Merlin, you saw obviously Earth 2, Laura Lance, and you saw the return of Nisra Al Ghul, among many other people. But you did have one big crossover character showing up for Oliver Queen's funeral, and that is of course Barry Allen. So Grant Gustin did appear in Arrow's series finale, so there you go, that's already precedent for a big cameo in the finale. And so this made complete sense in the context of Arrow and the way that things had gone in the last like 5 years or so since Barry first showed up, because Arrow was the place where Barry was first introduced. It was where we first saw Grant Gustin in the Scientist episode way back when. And so with this finale, obviously it coming after Crisis, it also made extra sense that Barry was there, because Barry was really close with Oliver and Oliver really kind of taught him to become a superhero. So it made complete sense that he was there along with the likes of like Sarah Lance and everyone else. But I also have to mention that Kara did show up. So Melissa Benoist was in the series finale of Arrow alongside Grant Gustin's Barry Allen, and they were there. Obviously they had a couple of scenes together. They talked to Felicity and Diggle and everyone. So what I'm trying to get at here is it made complete sense that specifically Barry and Kara would show up, because they did play a decently big role in Oliver's journey as a hero, and obviously they were all friends and they participated in many big team-ups together as superheroes, but also they were friends. And so when you go over and you look at the Flash and Barry's history, it would make complete sense that you would have some of those Arrow characters showing up in the series finale. Obviously Barry is supposedly not going to die, so we're not going to have a big funeral scene like this where it commands everyone to come back, but it would make sense that you see a couple of people from his past. So maybe Diggle is going to show up. That would be a highly likely option. We've talked about Stephen Amell maybe coming back as Oliver Queen or the Spectre, because that's obviously a no-brainer, because like I said, the Flash came about because of Arrow. But let's talk specifically about Melissa Benoist's Supergirl. Is she coming back for the series finale of The Flash? Well, I'm going to go through the options here. I would say, number one, it makes sense story-wise that she would come back, because ever since Supergirl first ran into Barry, obviously that was with Barry running over, using the tachyon device and ending up on Kara's Earth before Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, so they were on a separate Earth. That's where they started their friendship, and their friendship grew with many crossover events, obviously big team-ups, including like the musical crossover was a big one, but also the big crossover events like Elseworlds, like Crisis on Earth X, and also of course Crisis on Infinite Earths. So there was always a big bond between the two characters. So I would say after Oliver Queen, Melissa Benoist's Supergirl would be my number one pick for who, story-wise, would be an important cameo in the finale, because they had a really strong bond and everyone was a huge fan of them together. Like, Supergirl was there at Barry and Iris's wedding, she even sang at the wedding, so they obviously have that really strong connection. So we can sum up that it makes sense story-wise for Supergirl to show up. But let's talk logistics here, because as you guys know, Supergirl has ended. Supergirl ended last year, it's been the anniversary already, and since then Melissa has made like 1 or 2 comments. I believe it was actually through Bitsy Tulloch, who obviously plays Lois on Superman Lois, who said that Melissa was interested at least to potentially come back in the future, maybe on Superman Lois, but nothing has really been said about her showing up on The Flash, so obviously that's a first red flag that not much conversations have happened, or at least we haven't heard about them. Could have been happening behind the scenes. I guess Eric Wallace is wanting to go all out for this series finale of The Flash, so they're probably definitely going to go around and ask some people to come back, like Cisco for sure, so Carlos Valdez, John Wesley Shipp, and other people from The Flash's past, but he's probably going to ask some people from the other shows to come and appear if they can, if they're available. And so the next big problem is Melissa is busy in New York filming her new TV show for HBO Max, and I think this is the biggest problem of them all, because she is very busy. She's obviously a producer on that show as well as one of the leading actors, so she's got her hands full right now, and I don't know if it's feasible in terms of her schedule to go up to Vancouver and even go for like maybe 1 or 2 days. I would say 1 day is probably the max that I can imagine her even going up there for. Potentially they could get her to film in New York. That would be a viable option. They've done that before with different shows and just mishmash some of the scenes together. So I think this definitely causes Eric Wallace, if he wants to bring Supergirl back, a big problem, and probably the biggest problem that they're going to face trying to get Melissa back. Number 3, I would say another option is she probably doesn't want to go back to Supergirl for a while because she was with Supergirl for such a long time, and I would presume she probably is going to have to be offered a big deal of money, and considering Nexstar just took over the CW, I don't think they're going to be that willing to try and just get Melissa back for a bunch of money when they can get like multiple other characters maybe from the Flash's past back for less money. But I have to mention the new head of entertainment at the CW, when teasing The Flash Season 9, did mention there's going to be a lot of surprise guest cameos an interesting twist in the new and final season. So potentially they have the idea in their back pocket to have some more guest cameos. Obviously, we can infer that he is relating this to the cameos we already know. That is, of course, Javicia Leslie as Batwoman and also Red Death, plus Nicole Maines as Nia Now. But I think they wouldn't be opposed to bringing back crossover characters in the series finale because they've teased this already, so why not go the extra step? I think money's a problem, I think scheduling's a problem, and it really does come down to, is Melissa willing to give up a day or two and fly up to Vancouver to actually film for the Flash's series finale? And I honestly don't have a good answer to that. I don't know the ins and outs of her mind, I don't know how it works. So I'm not going to pretend that I can give you guys a solid answer. This is just a theory video that I think it's somewhat likely that they're going to at least try and get her back, but I'm not going to say it's likely that she's actually going to come back because there's a lot of hurdles that they will have to get over before that actually comes to fruition. I think it's more likely, as I mentioned before, that some Flash characters from the past will show up, or maybe some Arrow characters are probably more likely. I would say John Diggle is definitely high up on the list. Potentially could get Black Lightning since they formed a relationship in Crisis and also in Armageddon. So that's a new kind of character dynamic that's interesting, and I don't think Cress Williams would be totally opposed to coming back. So that's just another option I want to throw out there. But what do you guys think about all of this? I really want to know. So please be sure to comment down below your thoughts. Do you think Melissa Benoist is going to return as Supergirl? What other characters do you think are going to return in the Flash's final season? Do you think they're going to appear in the series finale? Or are they going to appear in other episodes like Javicia Leslie and like Nicole Maines, who are showing up earlier in the Flash's final season? Let me know down in the comments down below. But for now, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. I'm trying to upload pretty much daily at the moment, so please be sure to check back every evening to see those new videos, whether they are The Flash, Superman, Lois, Supergirl, Arrowverse, or DCEU related. And if you have any certain type of video you would like to see on the channel, please be sure to go over to my community tab right now because I put up a post asking you guys what type of content do you want in the new year when we get to it. So for now, remember, get merch, link is in the description below. It's really comfy, really cool. And one last shout out to all of you guys who have been supporting the channel by getting merchandise. And so for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
You